So, hi everybody. Hi everybody. Welcome to, oh my God, Brothers and Boricuas. I was about to say, welcome to Lunchtime with Anna. That is on Wednesdays. Guys, my voice is a little bit hoarse, so bear with me. Hypothyroid awareness, guys. Educate yourselves. I go through bouts, and this right now I'm going through one. So, anyways, I wanted to announce to everybody I will be emceeing a domestic violence and cancer survival event October 9th. That is on a Sunday. The event will be over in ATL. I don't have a full address yet. So I was excited because when I announced it, I got a few emails from a few of my followers that, they'll be dropping by the event. So I'm excited about that. Trying to think what other announcements we have next week on Lunchtime with Anna. I will be interviewing I call them Fabulous Eight. We will be starting off with Jermaine Morris. Actually, he's number 2 because I've already interviewed one of them. But we will be interviewing Mr. Morris. And guys, tune in because there has to be reform. There has to be change. Listen to their stories. Talk about it. And help us fight this fight. My thing is, and I keep telling people, I'm going to dismantle that whole corrupt system they have over there in Georgia, and then I'm coming to Florida to cause some ruckus as well. Now, I'm trying to think what other announcements we have. Anybody know of anything that maybe I forgot that I've mentioned to you? No? Okay. Jasenia, how are you?
What was that?
How are you, girl?
I just told you, spazzing for time and finances, everything. I just got slammed with my kitchen out of nowhere, and now it's not usable. So therefore, I gotta find a way to feed them for the entire weekend. And I guess they didn't think that I needed to know about that ahead of time.
Oh, that's
So yeah, so
frustrating.
that causes so I'm in the street right now because I have to go and pick up food from their aunt who decided to cook for them.
That's true. That's cool though. That's cool that at least you got family that will do that.
Right, but it's not like
Jamil.
never mind.
No. Go ahead.
No. Just like and then on the other hand, it's like go pick up this and go pick up that. So it's like
It's like I ain't got
yeah,
money for this. Yeah, I
right.
got you. Jamil, how are you?
And it's another day, another dollar. Great. Um,
I
celebrated
know that's right.
47 years. I'm.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm. I'm blessed. I'm very happy. Things are looking promising for business that I'm working on, a venture. I'm trying to put this job together with this video editing for this company,
Okay.
and
Okay.
things are looking good. But other than that, I'm just staying focused. The world is crazy. It's like I'm still trying out how they have a damn this Queen Elizabeth. These folks don't have. These folks still
Oh, don't get
celebrate.
me started.
This funeral. How do you have a week long funeral for? I'm saying I don't know. I'm tired of seeing the Queen Elizabeth on the news, but
So
it's
I do have. I do have my opinion on that, and I like the way that you're kicking that off, Mr. Jamil. That is something interesting, and I have my 2 or 3 words for that. But first, I'd like to introduce our brother Lungi. Lungi, how are you?
Oh Lord. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Wonderful. And happy to have you here tonight. There's nothing like having our people of color united.
Oh yeah, always.
To me, it means everything. So you heard what Jamil kicked off the conversation with. Go ahead. Oh, I thought he was saying something, but you heard what Jamil started the conversation with. I have my 2 or 3 things to say about that in my opinion on that, but who would like to start talking about the devil Elizabeth and what's been going on with her? I guess you guys know which way I'm going with this conversation. Nobody has anything to say? Jamil? Yesenia? All right, so I'll start. So, okay, who was going to talk? Jamil?
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Okay, sorry. I was just asking if you have anything to say about, the double Elizabeth and, what your opinion is. I think you know which way I'm going with my conversation, but, we'll go ahead and we'll get started.
It's like, really, my whole thing with that situation there is, I'm so tired of hearing all of our people doing all this boo-hooing about this woman like she was just so great. I'm trying to figure out why they crying. What did the Queen do for any of us? That gives us really, I'm talking about what has she done for any of us that has our people crying?
Our people, that's what I was going to say, yes.
Crying and mourning her death. I understand, like, okay, for example, when Muhammad Ali died, or even when President Kennedy died.
Okay.
Some people felt like President Kennedy was trying to do things to help our people. So with that, his death, I can see where some people, where it might warrant some type of, tears or heartfelt concern because of what he was trying. But I've been doing research. I've been trying to find it with the Queen. What has she done that so?
So you do know that she did steal a jewel. You do know this. And I'm trying to look at the article. As somebody who is on air right now watching, if you could please correct me if I'm giving wrong information. So I'm looking for the article because I had sent it to myself. And I don't want to lie to you guys about and I could have sworn that I sent it in the group, but maybe I didn't. And so I know that she stole a piece of jewel from one of the countries. She reigned over 119 countries, was it? Queen. And so, and I'll tell you guys, I don't really watch TV, right? So I'm sitting here, and I'm at the hotel. I was out of state handling some business this weekend, and or this week. And Monday morning, I went downstairs to go get breakfast with my son, and I was typing out some things in the computer for a client. And I'm listening, and these people are like literally in by the linefuls going to go see her. I'm like, I don't understand. What is this about? Joel Stolen. So one of the things is former colonies demand their diamonds and jewels back after Queen's death. This was news one day ago, but I was reading, I believe the gem was from Africa. It was taken from Africa. Don't quote me on it. I could have sworn I sent it to the group. And I apologize that I don't have this on hand because we had some things that got me distracted in between. But yes, it's from South Africa. In 1907, I was doing research. In 1907, the treasure was purchased by South Africa's Transvaal government, run under British rule, and presented to King Edward VII as a birthday gift. The gift symbolized the heating relationship between Britain and South Africa following Anglo-Boer, and you guys excuse my accent, war. However, there are some historians who argue that the colonial transactions are illegitimate as the proceeds in the case of the Cullinan diamond came from land that was taken from the native inhabitants. So there's all these countries are asking back for their jewelry, you know, so obviously if you're asking back for the jewelry, there's wrongdoing to who you were. And then my thing is that as these countries, why couldn't you stick up for yourself before? Why do you wait till now? I'm a firm, as a leader, right? I believe you should be the first one to say, hell no, what you're doing is wrong. And I don't stand behind you. So I don't know.
But you got to understand this too, you know, some of those countries, 9 times out of 10, all of those countries don't have the military force to fight against the colonials. Mm-hmm. That's how they invaded from the jump. Mm-hmm. The people not able to defend against the guns. So if you bring a knife to a gunfight, how can you're not going to stop me? You're not going to stop me unless you can find some kind of way to get behind me. And back then, that's what they had. They had spears and they had guns. Who's going to win that fight?
And did Queen Elizabeth II own stolen diamond named Great Star of Africa? And see, this is what I'm saying. How is this okay? How do people just stand there and, okay, you're saying, okay, they don't have the military, whatever, but is it okay? At the end of the day, don't you think, and I always tell people, and I use Puerto Rico as an example, don't you think if you stand there, and it's a lot of you guys, things will change? You guys can overturn things? Look at Haiti. The way Haiti has been left to pay a debt that they're still paying off. And that's part of the reason the country is so poor in some areas, because I have a friend who's actually Philippine. Shout out to Karen. Karen, how are you? And she moved over to Haiti, and she lives very well over there. So she's pretty well off over there. But, you know, I look at these stories and I'm like, how can you cry as people of color after all that us as people of color have already been through? Lungi or Jasenia, you guys are free to join in the conversation. You as well, Jamil.
Say that one more time. How or what?
How are we as a people crying? Okay, because I saw a lot of posts. I kind of felt like she was a part of me. How can somebody be a part of you who's wronged so many of us? Let's talk about Princess Di. Regardless what they say, that man was her man, and they did not accept that. And guess what? She's not around. Her mother-in-law did not like her at all.
Right. Well, it was always like, what do you believe? Because there's so much rumors and gossips, but most of it is true. When you have a lot of money and a lot of power, if someone is not wanted and your loved one is not there to keep up their wishes, then this is what happens. They get missing.
I agree. But my thing is, so how can us as the people even sympathize with it? Because, like I said, I watched a whole 2 seconds of what the heck was going on TV, and I turned my face and I blocked my ears because I don't care to hear it.
It was, when I was watching it, it was like, really? I'm talking about seriously.
Why did you watch it? You're not supposed to give it ratings.
It's like, no, it was just like I wasn't watching the funeral. I'm just like, every time you go to the news or something, you flip by CNN or something. I might be checking my phone like in between my work sessions, and every time you look up, man, the queen, mourning the queen, the death of all this, the legacy of the man. Man, real talk, and it's like when I've seen all these black people on my page, all these different posts. I'm like, are y'all seriously, man, talking about you? How did you feel like the queen was a part of you?
And see, that's exactly. So I see you read the same thing. I was just I was puzzled, right? Because in all honesty, and this is keeping it 100 with you guys, I felt Princess Di, her death, a lot more than I did hers. But Princess Di, in all honesty, reminded me a lot of what a human being is supposed to live like, is supposed to be like. Like, I'm like, I felt no attachment. And to anybody who's watching this, guys, please put your input. I really want to know what are you guys thinking? How do you guys feel about it? Call in 321-252-8084. Because I'm curious, like, what do you guys, because to me, it's insane. I'm like, that's insane. No, I can't see myself loving any of that. Lungi, are you there? I'd like to hear what he's got to say, because, he's always going to come from a Christian standpoint. He's going to say something nice. Go ahead, Lungi.
Okay. From what I recall, what I understand, I don't think Ramaphosa, isn't that the president of South Africa? I don't think he made an official statement about the diamond. And he gave his condolences to the Queen of England. But I think the people as a whole have well spoken on issues like that. I think structures and systems where reparations have been either demanded and gone unheeded, have still been things that some of us have subjected ourselves to and worked within the framework of, to the extent that, while fighting within the system, there's still a aspect of the system that we allow ourselves to silently navigate through. And I think it's the same thing with some of the things about the Queen of England. I think, okay, she died, and it's allowing for the conversation to take place. She's dying at a time where social media is robust, and she's dying at a time where even the smallest person can speak their mind, and it's not like when she was, at the height of her powers, I think that it's provoking conversation, and it's helping people to, in this information age, to investigate things further and look deeper into matters of the empire of England, and how it was throughout the her tenure and the ones previous to her. I definitely feel that there's an enormous debt owed to the people of apartheid, victims of apartheid, people who have had to fight colonialism and the aftermath of colonialism. That some people call the Ma'afa, the aftermath of the slave trade, where England was a primary proponent of. I do think that these things are inextricably tied to some of the things that are going on today. Some of the problems that if you're diagnosing a problem, I think you got to dig, you got to go deep, you got to go to the root of the problem. And England has played a major role in a lot of the problems that African people throughout the diaspora and African people as a whole have suffered. So her death, I'm neither here nor there concerning it. I just want to see our people in a better position, in a better light, in a better position, basically.
So,
was that nice enough for you? Was I being a nice guy?
Actually, no. It was quite educational. It was quite educational to like the ones that maybe don't know so far into detail, right? But see, this is the thing. It's not only Africa or the people, right? We're talking about Indians are asking for their stuff too. Some of everybody's asking for their stuff. They're like, look, I want my jewel back that belongs to my country. Now, in y'all's opinion, should that even come back?
Hell yeah, it should come back.
You should have said, I'm gonna be with the shits tonight. I'm gonna be with the shits tonight. And
no, I'm saying really though. Didn't y'all see the movie Black Panther? When the dude they call Killmonger went in the museum over there in the United Kingdom. Lady, he told him, no, she naming off all the little artifacts, the African artifacts they got in there. He told her, shoot, how you think your people got them? How you think your people got them? You think you just walk over in the African?
Is it my people?
No, he was asking the white lady who was the little host at the museum, and he told her he was going to take it off their hands for him. She was, excuse me. He asked her, how do you think that your people got these artifacts?
Oh, gotcha. Now I
And
understand.
she,
Okay.
and she, you know, she's like, I beg your pardon. Like she don't know what he's talking about. You know how the people got them. What does the
I know
Bible
that's
say?
right.
What does the Bible say that the devil comes to do?
To
Steal
kill.
and kill and destroy. Like you can say what you want to say. Nation of Islam, the teaching that the white man is the devil is not a racist statement. It's a scientific one. And when you check the history of these people and you follow their footprints in the sands of time, man, everywhere they go, they steal the culture, the history, the legacy of the people. They kill the people and they destroy the land. Look at uh look at the continent of Africa prior to colonialism. Look at the country of Libya prior to Muammar Gaddafi being ousted and assassinated by the United Nations. Look at the country before, when Gaddafi was in rule, and look at the country afterwards, after they assassinated him and got him out of the way. Look at it now. It looks like a completely different place. It looks like a wasteland. This is everywhere these people go. So it's not, like I said, people want to think, look at racism or call people racist when you tell the truth about something.
So let me ask you a question, because I want to flip this, right? This is what I do. I've been doing this for years. So there's so much anger and frustration over the Black Little Mermaid. And I'm going to say Black Little Mermaid because that's how it's put in the media. But I'll just say it like this, the new Little Mermaid. The new Little Mermaid is absolutely beautiful. However, how do you guys feel about that? Because they feel like their mermaid was stolen from them. I'm just saying, this is what I've been reading. Because I don't watch TV, I read.
They feel like their mermaid was stolen from them.
Yes. So the tables turn.
Well, damn. I've been watching movies with the Egyptians as long as I can remember. And all of them been depicted as white folks. What's the movie? I was watching the Bible stories. All my life.
So, I have to come from an unbiased point of view, right?
No, hold on. Really? Do they really?
Yes, they're upset. That's a true story. They're upset.
You really trying to say you complain about somebody's history being stolen or somebody's legacy being stolen?
Yes,
as
because
much feeling as you guys do. Oh, really?
and
Nigga,
see,
I'm talking about ain't no way. I'm talking about seriously. They are the world thieves. How you gonna man? You been stealing fifth man. You can go back to the Bible from the book of Genesis. Hagar and Sarah. You stole the birthright of Ishmael.
so and Jamil, and this is for all of you guys. Feel free to jump in, Lungi and Jasenia, as you guys please. But these are some of the top stories that come out when I just Google Little Mermaid, new Little Mermaid, right? It says here, snowflakes losing it over Black Mermaid. Here's Idris Elba and James Bond. Internet is backlashing. Okay, and then all the internet's more interesting critiques of the Little Mermaid. And you guys, she's absolutely gorgeous. Little Mermaid's racist critics pollute magical undersea world in bigotry. The racist backlash over the increased diversity in the Little Mermaid and Lord of the Rings explain. Trevor Noah weighs in on Little Mermaid controversy, and so forth, so on. I mean, they just keep going.
Well,
Go ahead.
if that was the case, then why didn't they pop all that noise when they did the Black Annie? Or was it because it wasn't in the big theaters? And
The Black who?
Well,
Annie, when they remade Annie, Orphan Annie.
Okay. Yeah, but you got to think too.
And Oz.
You got to think too, though. Look at the time, and look what has happened. And I'm going to be very transparent between 2008, from the time we got our first Black president, on to today. Because it's the truth. There's more division than ever. I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, you guys don't have to agree, but I think the times are a little bit different.
I think that now it should have been easier. It seems like things are going in a weird way backwards. I mean, Are you saying that they're fighting for their last screams, but that's they're late, aren't they? Or is that a last hope? Are you implying? Because technically speaking, I feel like we're past that.
And see, this is made in 2014. I think so much has happened. So much has happened between 2014 and now. Somebody was going to speak. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, shit, if we were past that, we wouldn't be having this conversation, though, really, because man, look. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Okay, now that's where I'm getting at. That's what I was originally asking. Is that what you're trying to get at? Because we all know that that's going to be all the time. You're going to have some of them that will never lay down.
And basically, they showing it. It's like, are you seriously complaining? It's just like, I just find it so hard to believe they still are propagating the white Jesus. You still propagating it. You still showing blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus Christ. They still showing blonde hair, blue-eyed Egyptians as the makers of the pyramid and all these different things. They still having white women and white men portraying Latinos and stuff like that in movies. They were just talking about that the other day. Y'all want to complain about the Little Mermaid?
Well, see, and I actually put up a post about that. I don't know how many of you guys actually read the stuff, but I do put things like that up because I want you guys to educate yourselves. And then the thing is that when they do pay a Latino to play our own roles that we could play the best, right? We get less salary. We get less salary, less promotion, so forth, so on. That's why I stand so firm at doing things independently and doing it right, especially in the entertainment industry.
Really, it's like, I don't know, all these different things. This it's a lot of controversy in the world right now. And, I was talking with Lungi earlier, and it was a subject uh, about the Woman King, the movie Woman King with Viola Davis,
Hmm.
and there was like the aspect of the controversy in that movie. I wanted to ask you got your guys' opinion. You know, from the perspective of the movie that they're airing it, they're showing these people as warriors and conquerors,
Oh, I see. I see.
but they're not telling the aspect of them also being slave traders too.
I
So
agree.
is that movie? Do you guys feel like that movie should be like? I can't even really say taken down, but do you think that's a movie that black people or people of color should support?
Well, I think. All right, you guys. I want to make a quick disclaimer. I love I love everybody. Okay. I'm a human rights activist, for heaven's sakes. Okay. I love everybody. However, I will say this, and I'm going to be very clear when I say this. We need to do our own thing. A lot of things I don't even focus my eyes on because I'm not corrupting my mind. I raised my children just earlier. I had a conversation with my mom, and she tells me, why would you bring your son and put him in those rallies where he can be in danger? And I told him, that's how you become a leader, because you see your parent doing that, because you see your parent fighting for others. So, like I say, I love everybody. However, there's just certain things that I just feel should be of ours. Like, for example, Ice Cube did it on the movie Friday. I can't think who was it that did and I can't think of their names. They're brothers, I think. Or, who was it that did Boys in the Hood? I got the name right there in the tip of my tongue.
John Singleton did Boys in the Hood.
Singleton, that's what it is. Singleton. So I think when you do things like that and keep it within our community, and it's not necessarily a Black Wall Street, okay? Because I just think that just defeats the whole purpose. I'll give you an example. How is it that we as people of color are selling a dozen candied apples for a children's birthday party for $125? Seriously? Seriously? Because I'm sorry, if that's the situation, I'd rather go over to Walmart and get them a lot cheaper. Maybe for $40. We
Well,
can't overprice ourselves neither. Go ahead.
so okay, so that is where it comes into a catch 22, because remember, we as a people are have been fighting for our rights and as an equal for us to do the things that they do. Like, for instance, I would like to, I'm just giving an example. I know this is different, this requires work, but it all does, even an entrepreneur. So like your credit, I would like to one day have our children generation after generation where you taught them this way and then they live by their credit and then they can boom walk on there and boom just get a car. right? Then we will be just like, okay, what about, which is all that is happening now. We are, as people, are teaching our children that now. We are doing that now. Okay, so also with this entrepreneur business, do you know how many Caucasian people have just said, you know what, I took one generalism at school that should open my door here and there, or maybe they did it, but you know what, um, I'm going to be a marriage planner. And you know what? I'm going to be an interior decorator. I'm going to be a florist. And I'm going to be a party organizer. And yes, those are the prices for weddings and parties and catering. Those are the prices. So us as a people cannot knock the other one's shoe, because guess what, they've been doing that for years, and those are the prices. So why can I be an entrepreneur and make those prices according to my my worth? Nobody can set my worth. That's part of us breaking this cycle. Nobody can set my worth. Nobody can tell me what I am worth. That's back in the day. So not no more. So now I too got a fair shot, and so that's part of being equal. That's part of, you know, just anything. That's part of the American trade. That's part of the Indians coming here, getting some of our grant money and doing something, like, the things that we've been watching that we could not have done. Right now, the ball is on our hands. So unless it's a favor or a family member, or you have different prices for inner city people, you see what I'm saying? Which, yes, us as entrepreneurs should do that. But besides that, no way. Keep the gun to the gusto up high. We don't want no less, just like you don't want no less. And we
But
come to
okay,
perform probably
and
better than
I
y'all.
do agree with I do agree with that, and I do agree that us people of color are very creative. But you're
Right.
telling me
And
that it's very reasonable to pay $125 for 12 candied apples. I just
didn't say
want to make
I
sure.
didn't say 12. I didn't say 12, but what I am saying,
Hmm.
according to what is going on in this venue and who my customers are, and that's me and you, a fair person. I'm talking about somebody. Forget about all that. I'm talking about entrepreneurship. I'm talking about making it. I'm talking about a class of my own. Yes, I'm all that. I'm at the top of the line, and this is what I charge.
So, and see, I think that falls into a problem because, and I'm going to tell you guys where this falls into a problem. And, you guys, fellows, you guys are free to get in on this conversation.
Because
When
that
you're
falls into a
sitting,
deeper problem that we already have as people of color.
and the deeper problem is that número uno and número dos, right? Because I'm going to speak it to you guys Spanglish because we're two Boricuas here, right? I'm going to say how it is. Número uno y número dos, men and women of color do not make the same amount of money as our counterparts. So you cannot charge the same thing that our counterparts are going to charge because, first of all, our income is not as much. Why not help each other? Because I could charge for everything that I do, and I don't.
The fact of the matter is
Okay.
this. Let me say
That's
something.
going in two different places. You're almost talking about a hand me out and then a business. You have to separate the two.
Even
No,
the
not a
same
hand me
thing,
out.
the same thing. But I'm gonna say this: we as a people have bought into the idea of paying for what you want, and what I mean by that is this: we feel like if Jordans cost $150, or say $200 for a pair of Jordans,
Mm-hmm.
but you can go over here to the store where the black folk got the Jordans at, and they going for 135. We gonna go to the one that's selling the Jordans for 200 because we gonna feel like the white folks got the genuine, the real J's, and the black folk they gonna feel like we got some
Now that's where I'm coming
bootleg.
from.
bootleg shit. So we're gonna
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from.
we're gonna
We'll
go.
knock
It's
each
what
other before we knock the white man.
if
We ain't gonna question the
you're
white
actually
man.
trying
We'll
to look out
question each
for your
other.
people. You got the same real Jordans. You just trying to look for. I'm gonna give you another example. Brother Stephon Marbury played basketball at Georgia Tech. Then he went to the pros. He played for the Knicks. He played for the Phoenix Suns. A couple other teams. This brother had his own tennis shoe, and he was selling the tennis shoes for cheap because he wanted the people to be able to afford his shoe. And he see
Shaquille O'Neal did that as well.
but after Shaquille O'Neal did it after the fact. See, after he made it, after he made his money. See, Stephon Marbury did it from the very beginning, and his shoes didn't do anything because of the price. And
Nobody want them cheap shoes.
Nobody wanted the cheap shoes. But if he would have sold his shoes for $200, like Jordan and all the rest of the folks, then he'd probably still be selling shoes right now.
Which was my point from the beginning. Do not knock each other's hustle. We are here and we have a name and we're going to put our own price on it. Now, mind you, that doesn't mean that I won't go do something for whoever, whatever. That's doesn't have to be talked about. You know, what you do for people don't need to be talked about. Your blood, you don't have to be talking about it. Those people might do that. They might throw a free party or a $20 party. You see what I'm saying? But that has nothing to do with their name that they put out there. That name that I put out there, that is what I'm trying to do. My entrepreneurship. You cannot tell me what I'm worth. We cannot be like crabs in the bucket. And I know that's not where you were coming from, Anna, but that is where it lays at. That's where.
No. But that's a good point too. Where you guys are going with this, that's a good point too, because I was coming from a different direction. That's a good thing. I know you were. When we're all together.
I know you were, but that's why I never came out and said what I just said, because I'm trying to see if you could gather that with all these little bits that we're saying. What ends up happening, us as a people, for instance, the guy right here, my detail, but I'm going to go to the guy that already had the white man who had this store for 50 years and stuff, and I'm going to go to him. Why? Because this and that. It's like, oh, he charges $100, so does he charge $100? And it's from that. Oh yeah, who he thinks he is? He's supposed to be helping us. This should be this. What the fuck? So you're gonna go and help the white man? Make it make sense. Why, when we come put a price tag on it, is something wrong? That is the overall thought process that ends up being crabs in a bucket. We can't promote each other. We cannot. We have to say something about it. But yet, if Blow Joe does it. That's just what it is. Tommy Hilfiger does it. He made a pair of jeans, $2 CITA jeans in his thing, redid them, and boom, they was $100, $50 a watt. Nobody complained. Let me do it. Who she thinks she is? This, and that. That probably wasn't even the real stitch. What? I ain't giving her no $25.
I'm just saying, I ain't paying no $125 for no candied apples. That's all I was saying.
I do understand, but I'm just
money.
Saying it goes along with other stuff.
Them bitches better have gold on them.
And it's probably not $125.
I'm the type to pick up a penny if I drop it.
It's okay. $125. I've never heard anybody charge $125 for candied apples unless they was like Kanye West them. But what I am saying is, it's like it's a set. It's the apples plus the candy. It's the whole little setup. It's called the creation table, the candy table. Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you guys, this was actually a post. What I was telling you guys about the candy apples for $125. This was actually a post in the county I used to live at in Georgia. Y'all can look it up, Clayton County Mom and Dad. And I'll tell you, when I saw that post, I said, man, hell no. I'm not paying no $125 for no damn. I will make my own damn candy apples. It ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. Like I said, I'm the type to pick up a penny if I drop it on the floor. Like I just ain't doing it, you know? So
I think if we took that approach though to everything, that takes extreme discipline.
what?
But for like you were saying, as far as like you're not gonna pay that much for a candy apple.
Well, not for 12 of them. I mean, would you guys pay it?
No, but I'm saying, listen, look at the stuff that we do spend money on. For example, they'll go spend $10 on some iced coffee from Starbucks or
Oh, hell no. Worst coffee ever. Boo! I hate that coffee.
What they call it, lattes or what other stuff, or from Dunkin' Donuts or from wherever. They'll go get this stuff, and it's a coffee with, or whatever, with a whole bunch of sugar and cream stuff in it. You pay $10 for it, but you can go get the same jar of Folgers or whatever and make up your own, and you have multiple cups.
That's right.
For that same $10, but you spend $100 just for 10 of these cups in a week, and we don't look at this stuff like that, you know, or eating out at places.
Well,
You
see,
know,
and I'll tell you, like Jimmy and Lungi, I don't know, you know, how often you guys go out and eat and all that stuff, but, you know, to buy a meal for myself and my son today, it's $30 freaking $30. I don't have that kind of money to be going out doing this, doing that. Actually, I'm an excellent cook. Why not just cook? You know? And I don't know. I just think we should not, you know, and maybe maybe it sounds, you know, like I just saw in the comment, it's like a double sword. Okay. But no, because I think that we as people cannot be overpricing or overcharging each other. It's just my thing. Like, I'd rather pay $2 for a cup of coffee at a 7-Eleven that's an espresso. I'm happy with that. See, and I think that's the difference, and that's how you learn to let your money grow and stuff, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to be struggling like that. Lungi, you can jump in anytime. He's so polite. You should probably unmute it so that you can jump in anytime.
that boy Lungi Salelo.
Did I say I'm saying
Kind
it
of
wrong?
having a reception problem. I can't really hear that good.
Oh, okay. And it kind of sucks because I know he always comes from a different perspective, right? But like I said, you know, and what I want to talk about now, if you guys don't mind changing the subject, Puerto Rico. My heart is with my family and friends that are in the island of enchantment, Bridgeport, Puerto Rico. Anybody have any input on that? How you guys are feeling, what you guys are feeling when it comes to that? So I'll go ahead, Lungi.
I'll say my heart goes out to Puerto Rico.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Lungi?
I'll say my heart goes out to Puerto Rico. You know, it's very unfortunate what has taken place. We were just talking about this and, you know, previous episodes, you know, and it's sad that it just, you know, came back center stage like this, and I think it just goes to show, it just highlights that the need, the that we do need to keep them lifted up in our prayers, that we do need to rally behind organizations and groups that are trying to provide resources. And we do need to utilize these kind of platforms to be able to make people aware of what's going on with our fellow Americans in that territory. Because people turn such a blind eye to it, and so much in the news, like you were saying about the news, Queen Elizabeth, so on and so forth. So much in the news seems to overshadow, to me, in my opinion, what's going on in Puerto Rico. So much irrelevant news, that doesn't take into consideration the humanity of a people that are going through a severe dilemma right now.
I get very
find it hard
passionate.
to believe that they have all this money they can send over to Ukraine to help in a war, but you don't have no money to send to your own unincorporated territory that's suffering from a hurricane disaster and poor health care and all the rest of this stuff. These folks are ridiculous. This is just very, very, very. The world is crazy.
It gets very passionate, and I get very emotional because this hurricane, Fiona, hit on the anniversary of Maria. Many of us lost loved ones to this original monster that hit that little island. The people of Puerto Rico are so driven. Right now, they're sitting without electricity and without water in many areas. One of the parts that was hit was pretty strong, was where my family was from. I believe I sent the group an article, and I said that's where that town was actually where my sister was born, town over from where I was born. The article that I sent to the group. But it was bittersweet because it just reminded me that my grandma's not here. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I really believe she might even still be here. And again, my heart is with my family. And
Do you think that it's a coincidence that Hurricane Fiona hits on the anniversary of Maria? Do you think that this is a coincidence?
not at all. Not at all. I believe there's a lot that we're not told, right? But something that was in danger, we talked about this last airing that we did when we talked about Puerto Rico. One of the things we talked about was the grid, the electricity grid that I just spoke about, that they were there chanting and to get the electricity down. What happens is we turn around and now, okay, there's the grid. It was just being able to get sturdy. And it's in danger again. Guys, can you imagine? No electricity, that means no hot water. That means none of this. No cooking. We're always going to find a way because Puerto Ricans are very resilient. And then you have all these organizations that are probably going to step up. I'm sending money, I'm sending this, I'm sending that. I'd rather not. I'd rather find a fellow Puerto Rican that will actually do it and will actually give it to the people, to our people. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. When I speak of that, it's very personal and it gets
No,
for me.
you did. I understand. Like I said, my wife's from Puerto Rico, and you know, she's very passionate about everything going on over there. So I feel it too. It's but it like I said, this I just really am disturbed by this so-called great nation's reluctance to help its own people, and but always ready to help everybody else. But your own people, still here suffering from I guess because they're not your own Caucasian people, it doesn't matter. But
And see,
if this would have been uh, New Hampshire or one of those New England states that was suffering from hurricanes, you have all kind of aid and everything up in there for those people. If you had, if it was in a place like I said, DC, and your federal buildings was being you find a way to get the aid where it needed to go because your people are being affected. But because
I'm
these
looking
are
at. Go ahead.
but because these are black and brown Latinos and Africanos and Tainos on this island that you have, you're concerned for there is zero. Get it how you live.
And see, go ahead.
I don't like that. I don't. To me,
I know.
that's it's like I have a post on my page that has a picture of a Catholic nun and it has a picture of a Muslima. These two women are dressed identically, but the nun is respected as a woman of God, and the Muslima is looked at like a terrorist just because of the way she dresses.
Yeah.
But they dress the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we have going on in the world, man.
I'm actually going to share that post because I just want to see what people are going to say. You guys know I like to stir up controversy on my page, so I just put posts out there. They mean nothing of my personal life or anything. I just put them out there because it'll give me a show topic. I do want to mention to you guys there is a monster storm forming in the Gulf of Mexico, so it'll hit probably towards Louisiana around there. I'm thinking, right? And as Fiona may turn and come to Florida. We'll see how they react to everything. Floridians don't really care. They don't care about a storm. It's actually time for them to sleep through the storm. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it happens. Lungi, do you have anything to input to that, or are you good? I think his signal is bad. So if it's okay with you guys, I like to talk about these crazy governors dropping off immigrants. Dropping off the immigrants. Some are facing charges. The one in the state of Florida, DeSantis, is facing charges because Venezuelans in particular stated that they were lied to. They were told that they were going to be getting a property and housing, so forth, so on. They were just dropped off in different places. Martha's Vineyard, in front of, in Delaware, in front of President Biden's property, as well as, what's her name's property? What is Kamala Harris? And they've threatened to take, start doing it in different, governors' houses in different states that are Democratic. I think that's inhumane as a human rights activist. Again, I'm not a civil rights activist, I'm a human rights activist, so I'm an activist for everyone. What is y'all's take on that? This one's like, whoa, what the heck are you guys thinking? Like, I don't know. To me, it's just, how cold can you be? And I will add that these Venezuelans said that they left their country to come over here because they were being treated the very way. And they have now filed a lawsuit against DeSantis, the governor of Florida. At least I read that because I don't read every single article. What is y'all's take on that? Immigration. I'm
gonna say this. I have some work I have to take care of, so I'm gonna have to park the group tonight, but I will be back next Thursday, and I will be ready to air.
You know what? You guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Because I know I think Lungi has to go too. Because I know of the time and I knew that we were supposed to be airing for exactly 2 hours, this is what I'm going to do. We will start next week speaking about immigration. Keep in mind what's going on. There's possible lawsuits. There's possible jail time for former President Donald Trump, as well as DeSantis in Florida, and I can imagine in the other states as well. Do your research, and we'll talk about it. What do you guys think?
That's fine. Same time.
I will. Well, we, Brothers and Boricuas, will see you guys next week. Will it be the same day? Are we going to do it the same day? Yes? No?
That's fine by me.
Okay. If not, we might be back on Monday. We're not sure. It'll be Monday or Thursday next week. When we come back, Brothers and Boricuas at 7:30 p.m. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys. And don't forget that next week I got Jermaine Morris coming in for an interview on Lunchtime with Hannah. Y'all have a good one.
Peace to the gods and goddesses, the earths. You guys be blessed.
All right, peace, bless you.